Hello everyone, welcome back to chalchanger, and today I have a Raspberry Pi 4 Model B computer right here, and I'm gonna show what each part is in the single board computer. So the image you'll see right now is a short summary of everything in this, but I will go through everything separately and into more detail than this image shows. So to start off, we have this system on chip right here, which acts as the central processing unit as well as the graphics processing unit of this computer, while this little thing right here is the random access memory, or the memory, or the RAM, however you call it. It depends on what model you got. It could have been 1 GB in the beginning, or it could have been 2 GB, 4 GB, or 8 GB, but the version I have right here is the 8 GB version. Now the next part of this Raspberry Pi is this part right here, and this is the radio module. And what this radio module does is it acts as a Wi-Fi radio as well as a Bluetooth radio. So it connects any Wi-Fi signals or any Bluetooth signals that are connected to your Raspberry Pi. Next part on this list is this one right here. This is called the USB controller, and it is responsible for running all of these USB ports right here, which we will get to later. Now this chip right here, which is smaller than the previous chip, is called the network controller, and it controls this Ethernet port, which we will also get to later. Then the next part is this black chip right here, which is smaller than even the previous one, and this is called the power management integrated circuit, also known as PMIC, and this handles turning the power that comes in from this micro USB port into the power that Raspberry Pi needs to run. The next part we're going to talk about are these two different big ports, and if you look at these are USB ports, and these two are USB 2.0 ports, and these two are USB 3.0 ports, and usually the USB 3.0 ports operate faster than these ones, but both of them are fairly fast. The next part we're going to discuss is this port, and this port is an Ethernet port, or also known as a network port, and what this does is it allows you to connect a wired computer network using a cable to the Raspberry Pi, and this has two different LEDs at the bottom, and those will light up if the connection is working properly. The next part we're going to talk about is this black jack right here, which is a headphone jack, or the 3.5mm audiovisual or AV jack, and you can connect to speakers to get a good sound, or you can also connect it to certain TVs or projectors that support a composite video signal using a special cable called a tip ring sleeve adapter, or TRRS adapter, to also transmit video as well as audio, so you don't have to use these micro HDMI ports, but we will talk about those later. The next part is this little flap port thing here, which has a flap that you can pull up and put a camera data cable into, and this is called the camera connector, also known as the camera serial interface, or CSI, and this lets you just connect a Raspberry Pi camera module or Raspberry Pi HQ or high quality camera to your Raspberry Pi. The next part consists of two ports, and these are micro HDMI or micro high definition multimedia interface ports, and these will let you connect them to monitors and TVs transmitting both video and audio and up to a resolution of 4K. The next part we're going to talk about is this port right here, and this is a USB Type-C power port that you will use to connect the Raspberry Pi 4 Model B to a power source. And you use the Raspberry Pi USB Type-C power supply that's officially supported, but you could also use a standard mobile charger, but that might not work as recommended. The next part we're gonna see is these 40 pins, and these are called GPIO pins. Also, that stands for General Purpose Input/Output. And this allows you to connect it to temperature sensors, pulse rate monitors, and so many things that you can control with programming of Scratch and Python that are built into your Raspberry Pi OS. These 4 pins right here will allow you to connect a power over Ethernet or PoE hat to your Raspberry Pi, which is an optional add-on to allow your Raspberry Pi to receive power from an Ethernet connection. Then the next part we're going to see is not on the top, but if you flip it over, you will see this part, which is a micro SD card connector, which allow you to connect micro SD card that has the operating system as well as any storage that you want to store on your Raspberry Pi. Now this connector is a display connector, or the display serial interface, or DSI, which is designed for use with a Raspberry Pi touch display, which will allow you to use touch screen on your Raspberry Pi.